Hi, I'm Annie Chapman, and I'm a resident of Sedona, Arizona. And we're here at City Hall right now because they are proposing that we get smart meters on here in town. So a lot of people have turned out today because they are opposed to that. We want to keep the integrity of our lovely little small town. So personally, I'm against it, and that's why I believe all these other residents are here. In addition, a lot of people turned out, and they filled the inside hall. The outside lobby is filled, but there's no audio, so people could not really hear what was going on. There have been lots of people outside who couldn't hear anything, and then subsequently a lot of people have left. But there's been quite a lot of participation here of people, Sedona residents, that are against the smart meters.
My name is Marcia Adams, and I've lived in Sedona for about 6 years. And I formerly did research at Stanford Medical School in cardiac electrophysiology. And so the response of biological tissues, humans, animals, I'm very familiar with. And I've come to the realization that there are many people here in Sedona that are already sick because of the nature of the electricity that's being delivered by APS. And I run a geophysical observatory. I take measurements of electrical things, magnetic things, ionizing radiation, mostly 24/7. And what I see are big aberrations in the electricity that is being delivered to us here in Sedona by APS. And there's a problem with diagnosis. That electrosensitivity is a relatively new disease of civilization because we haven't had our homes and our offices electrified until maybe 50 years ago. And so there is a whole variety of symptoms that are being written off by doctors or not recognized by doctors, and they're saying that it is aging or psychosomatic, and sleep deprivation, what have you. And this syndrome is not taught in medical schools, not yet. And so what's happening is there are many people around here in Sedona who are already suffering from what they call dirty electricity. And what that means is that the electricity is just not a smooth wave that is coming into our homes in many places, but there's a lot of noise, a lot of static on the electricity. And some of that static is biologically active. And if you live in a house or in an area that it has this kind of static going on, you can't really hear it, you can't see it, but you react to it with sleep deprivation, mood changes, skin rashes, and there's a whole list of symptoms that people experience. So the smart meters will add the extra burden on top of an already existing problem. And because of that, you're going to see, if smart meters are allowed in Sedona, you're going to see a lot more people getting very, very sick and not understanding why. So I am adamantly against the installation of smart meters. I've actually taken Wi-Fi out of the laboratory for that reason, because there's so much pollution already. We've got radio station KAZM, a major antenna. We've got a cell phone tower at the airport. Right here, we've got the police and fire communications. We're rampant, cell phones, what have you, and we're making ourselves toxic. And so we don't need any more of that toxicity. So I really support even legal action, because what we don't pay for in legal action, we're going to pay for in health costs.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Regina Meredith, and I'm a resident of Sedona and with GuyM-TV. And one of the things that piqued me about this, aside from having researched the issue and interviewed Josh Del Sol, the producer of Take Back Your Power, and everybody else involved with this issue, is that we're living in Arizona, a state that has abundant sunshine. And here we have our power company out of one side of their mouth suggesting that we should have clean energy sources. So if you try to have solar installed on your house, unfortunately, they've made a really punitive deal with the solar company, which is you must have a smart meter if you're going to go solar. First of all, the state of Arizona, the power companies tried to ram through legislation that would charge us a surcharge of $100 a month if you went solar. Then you have to pay an extra, what, $10 to $30 a month for the opt-out process. All of this because citizens such as myself and many others wish to actually have access to renewable and clean energy such as solar. They're making it almost impossible for us to do so.
My name is Kurt. I live up in a hilltop where the way it's positioned, my home would become one of the homes that could transmit many homes up to a transponder which could possibly be up on Airport Mesa. I had the employees from APS out to tag my home, sat with them, explained the situation, asked their advice, and they recommended that all information be transmitted through phone lines. It's an easy fix. Don't have to waste any more money on meetings or time involved. Just run everything through the infrastructure that's already in place, which is phone lines. Thank you.
Sweden did an interview, or a test I should say, on how many people are affected to electrohypersensitivity, which is a rapid aging syndrome. In the United States, out of the population, 100 million citizens are moderately affected. In the U.S., 10 million are severely affected by severe electrohypersensitivity. Now, to understand that here in Sedona, in this small population, to understand most of the beings here, most of the spiritual beings here, and most of the awesome beings here are also very sensitive beings. What happens when they install these smart meters is there's all kinds of fatigue, headaches, and things that happen to those that actually have this type of sensitivity. And the U.S. government has recently posted and has validated that electromagnetic hypersensitivity is an actual disability. So now you have a situation where you have a corporation which was granted $69 million to actually build these smart meters based on some of the technology from MIT of actually how to calculate and monitor exactly what was going on in someone's home. Okay, so to understand that some of these things that are actually going on behind the scenes and some of the information behind the scenes of why they're trying to install these monitors in your home, the public needs to know about. Okay, there is a microchip inside of these smart meters. It's $3.24. Can they tell you what it does? No, but what it does do is monitor every single time you turn on your hair dryer, every single time you turn on your washer, every single time you turn on your dryer, there's a vibrational signal that is sent to that microchip, which then can be transmitted to exactly what you're doing inside of your home. There is no cost benefit for any resident to install one of these smart meters in their home. Okay? The opt-out option is not an option here for Sedona. First and foremost, Santa Cruz bounced these guys completely out of the county. Okay, there's 3,872,000 Californians which are against this. Okay, the main issue with it is with this opt-out option, it only costs $1.50 to actually read someone's meter. If they say charged us $10 a month for an opt-out fee, that $8.50 is simply going to these power companies out of spite. I want you to completely understand the economics and fundamental reason behind some of these things. Okay, now with that, I will share some more information with you later, but I think there's some very awesome, amazing people here that also like to share their input on the installation of smart meters in Sedona. Thank you.
Hiya, I'm Michael. I live here in Sedona. Among many other things, I'm not only a rocket scientist, but an RF engineer. I certainly have been exposed since the 1980s to various kinds of oscillators, and I am familiar with the destruction caused by them to human tissue. I've been involved in weapon systems that are classified, some of which are RF involved, from particle accelerators just to plain RF beam weapons. And no amount of RF is good for human tissue, especially for the mitochondria. You know, when your DNA is held, it's involved in cell replication. Not good to be exposed to any form of RF. Now, that said, it's hard to avoid an office space today without some kind of radiation or one of these things that you might have on you that exposes you to amount of radiation. The difference is the power and whether it's pulsed or a continuous wave. Continuous wave RF is somewhat damaging, but not nearly geometrically speaking, the amount of degradation to tissue that happens from pulsed radiation. And pulsed radiation is exactly what these meters are producing. So if they do pass this here, make sure you get a hold of me, because I've already developed countermeasures, including full screening, Faraday cage grounding around your meter to the side of the house so that it won't involve past the wall and be hitting in the head at 3 a.m. and waking you up. Good luck.
I'm Carla Darren. I live in Sedona, Arizona, and I'd like to voice my opinion against the smart meters. There's a plethora of information out there that people can go to and get educated and find out about just how detrimental this is to everyone. We're already bombarded with electromagnetic frequencies and other frequencies that are just causing great concern for all of us. There's a lot of autoimmune deficiencies, and a lot of people here today I've heard talk about depression and tiredness and just a difficult life getting up every day. Sedona was a refuge for a lot of people, because, myself included, because we didn't have smart meters and things like that here. And so I think I would really like to appeal to whoever it is that can get some work done on this. I've sat in on the meeting today, and I've heard people talk about, oh, we're going to wait until the studies come out, we're going to wait till more studies come out. We really don't need more studies, and do we really trust the people that are actually doing the studies in the first place? Personally, if APLs comes out with their study and says, yeah, it's all great, I'm not going to believe it. Sorry, this is a passionate subject for me. And I think that really, studies aside, if we just tune in to how we feel every day and we just start paying attention, it's pretty obvious what's happening here. We're being forced to accept something that none of us want and that's not good for us. And whether it's today or tomorrow or next week, eventually we're all going to pay the price. So we better stand up now and do what we can to stop it. Please. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lane Badger. I'm a publisher and editor here in Sedona. I've been living here for 20 years, and I've watched progressively how corporate America has impinged upon our rights. But this is more than that. We're really being dictated to and penalized for a device that's both obnoxious and interfering with our internal health. But more than that, we live in Arizona, and we should be having these fields of solar farms to offset and to protect our energetic grid. So we should be looking beyond even this issue into sustainability and the development of solar farms that the whole city can embrace and give us an alternative to the henchman techniques of APS and other monopolized utility companies. Thank you.
My name is Christy. I'm against smart meters for a myriad of reasons. And what we come down to is personal responsibility and accountability for how we wish to live our lives. In this small community, not only, our global community. We are a global community, and we are learning this more and more every day. And Memphis, I have 16 pages of information right here from people in Memphis that were speaking out against smart meters and the terrible health things that have occurred as a result of them. Money always becomes this issue in these things, and I don't understand how we can put a price on human life. And this is what we're saying. We're weighing money against human life and the right to our freedoms. And our freedom is what we are fighting for. And I choose to not have smart meters in my life or in my greater community. Thank you.
And this is my daughter Skyra, and we're here today because we have concerns about the safety, the health hazards, and the actual environmental safety of smart meters. So we came here to voice our opinions about that and encourage Sedona to formulate a more solid plan to do a citywide opt-out, and we actually live in the unincorporated area around Sedona, so we're hoping that this also extends out to the county, Yavapai County and Coconino County as well, so that we can all be safe from the dangers of these meters.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
My name is Ayana Altman, and I became involved in encouraging people to take a look into the issues of, and the problems of smart meters when my son, who has autism, started to show problems. He lives in California, and I have worked with him for 37 years. He came to the point of functioning really well, and now the effect of smart meters is really a problem in his life. He has trouble staying focused, and when he comes to Sedona, that problem goes away. And so I'm encouraging others to look into the issue deeply, because people who are sensitive, who have sensitive neurological systems, usually show problems first, but then the rest of us will follow, and sometimes it's too late once that happens. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dan Sullivan. I'm a resident here in Sedona, own a home. I'm a former school teacher. I taught health education. I am against anything that will interfere with the health of our people, and I thank our city council and mayor for doing such a wonderful job. Thank you.
Everyone that's anyone is here today.
Basically, I have a couple of concerns. One is the financial obligations that they're imposing on you for not wanting it. I think that that's an unfair measure. Yeah. And also the health risks. I mean, we've heard several comments from people who have been medically impacted by this, and so I can only foresee it being more of a danger as more of those come in. So we need to stop that now before it gets to a point where we can't get rid of it.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
I'm Jeannie Marini. I live in Sedona, Arizona, and the smart meter issue is terrifying to me because of the electromagnetic field experiences I've had with my health. I thought that was my worst fear until I learned that also we are subject to being on a complete computer grid where we could be attacked by hackers and the whole thing shuts down. I'd rather they had to go house to house and not be hacked and have our whole town go down. Thanks.
Okay, my name is Lynn Montidonico. I'm a resident of Sedona, and I've lived here for 12 years. I saw a video, a DVD, Take Back Your Power, and I heard from so many people in that video that it had health problems, and people in the audience from several states had had a smart meter, had illness, but now it's growing to the fact that we could be hacked. People could find out where we are within our home. There's so many aspects, and more are coming out every day. So I have opted out. I opted out quite some time ago, and I have that wonderful little blue tag. So when they come to install, if they do, hopefully not, I am not going to have the meter. Thanks.
My name is Dr. Frank Gagliardi. I'm against the smart meters for obviously health reasons. I think they're detrimental to one's health. And I also wonder if in the end whether our charges will go up substantially.
Hi, my name is Rod Goebel, and I wasn't really sure how I felt about the smart meters, but I just finishing listening, and I am absolutely against them. Some folks spoke, and they gave some really good comments. Health issues, really it seems like we're having this rammed down our throat. So those are my feelings. Thanks.
Sandy Wade from Sedona. I just have one question. Who's in charge in America, the corporations or the people?
Hi, I'm Michelle Jack, and I'm a resident in Sedona, and I'm here to support not having smart meters in Sedona. Yay!
Anything you want to share?
Yeah, my name is Bruce Pickard, and I'm a resident here in Sedona, and I am against having smart meters for the health issues as well as perhaps smart meters. They go along with smart products and smart everything, and I don't think I want spying in my house from my refrigerator.
Name's Wild West Lance, and I'm from Camp Verde. And I come over here today to see how you guys are doing with your smart meter program. We're opposed to it as well. I don't believe it's anything we need. I believe it's unjust for them to try to do this to us. It should go to the state legislature, where one of two things will happen. It'll die there in the House, or it will be put on a ballot for us to vote on, as we all should be able to. But this is not something that should be forced on people without a choice. And that's the bottom line of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Deborah Emanuel, and I am against the installation of smart meters in Sedona or anywhere because nobody has done any tests on them, and the preliminary tests that are available are saying that people are getting sick from them. And when you put a few of them in a network and you have more and more and more, it increases the risk, and no one is studying that either. So until we know one way or another what one will do and what a number in the same place will do, they're not acceptable. And one of the reasons that they're talking about in the city meeting right now is of not fighting it is because we'll never win. And that's not a reason to not to address this. They have a right, a responsibility, I should say, to protect the citizens of the city that we live in. And the people in Sedona do not want this. So they need to step up, and they're not doing that.
My name is Jane Perini. I've lived here since 1999, Sedona, and I'm here because I feel, and I've done a lot of research personally, and feel that there is a definite health risk involved with the installation of smart meters. And so I'm going to do everything I can to create more awareness and get the 90% of people in Sedona who don't know or are just oblivious to get on board with getting everybody to opt out.
My name is Erin O'Connell. I live in the village of Oak Creek, and I understand that it's very possible for APS to access all the information that they need through our phone lines. And I would like to know why they don't do that. It has to be about money, and I want this stopped. Thank you.
My name is Pilar Martin, and I am known as Ambaya, and I am against the smart meter because it is against our health. Thank you.
How's it going? My name's Don. I had a smart meter at the last place I lived, and within 1 month of installing it, my cat had a stroke. That's very unusual for cats. Within 6 months, I was in the hospital. I've been in the hospital 35 years, and then I had to have a couple surgeries after that. And was it related to the smart meter? Who knows? I moved away and moved here because there aren't smart meters here, and now they want to put them in here too. So I don't want one. Thanks. I'll pay extra even if I have to. But not put one of those in my house.
My name's Kim Lewis. I've been a resident of Sedona for 21 years. I'm very much opposed to the smart meters and how it's all been handled here. The people are obviously very opposed to it, and they're still trying to shove it down our throats. I hope that this really shows a message to everybody today, and that we don't have smart meters in Sedona. They're not smart.
My name's Susie Bishop, and I've lived in Sedona for 25 years. And I am totally against smart meters. They are incredibly detrimental to health, and there are all kinds of information out there stating the detrimental effects. And I think we really have a chance right now to create health and well-being in our beautiful town.
I'm Lisa Moore. I'm a resident of Sedona, and I'm here to support the ban of smart meters. I think it's very critical that we look at all the medical issues and the reports that have been playing out all over the U.S., and it's time to stop it right now, once and for all. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Tom Peltier. I live outside of Sedona, but I'm in Cottonwood, and I'm concerned about the smart meters and the health effects on me and my family and my children. And I just hope people wake up to these dangers and do the research on it. Thank you.
My name is Marek Kadam. I live in Sedona 17 years. I love this place. Sedona is beautiful. I like it to also be healthy. I think we have a right to live in a beautiful and healthy place. I thought I was indestructible, but I have in the last 2 years health issues, and the classic medicine could not help me, but a natural path doctor has helped me
is homeopathic remedies. I cannot afford to have more problems with a meter which emits possibly unhealthy frequencies. We don't need it. We don't want it. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Susan Reed. I've lived in Sedona for, been a homeowner for 24 years here, and it's not safe. I don't want them. It's hard enough to stay healthy and eat well and everything else. So the idea that our government, our Constitution that's supposed to protect our health and our well-being, that this could somehow slip through something so dangerous is kind of insane. So I'm going to do what I can to quietly and legally to opt out, and hopefully the powers that be have some power in our community. Thank you.
It's a perfectly obvious thing that smart meters are not good for our health. And it's worldwide. It's not just...
It's known.
It's known. It's very obvious. And that what's the given information that's stated is not valid. It's kind of obvious.
Yes.
So I'm for not having them.
I'm Sakina Blue Star, and I've lived in Sedona for 31 years. And I feel very strongly that we need to opt out of this business of having people send out harmful rays. My husband was a physician, a Boston doctor who delivered 3 of my 4 kids, 2 of them at home. But so he knew the effects of things like this, and I feel it's very important for people to be protected. So I thank you for listening. Thank you.
All right. My name is Alea Naughton. I have fibromyalgia, and I'm very, very sensitive to electromagnetic emissions. I have to be very careful about having computers or TVs or anything around me. The idea of having to be threatened by having even heightened EMFs around me is when I'm struggling just to, get out of bed and be able to function every day is just horrific to me. I also don't think I, should have to pay a fine to opt out. But if I have to do that, at least I want to make sure that I can opt out. I think it's horrendous that we're being forced into this kind of situation that can affect our health. And it does affect our health. You don't have to do any more studies. And listening in there really angers me because all they're talking about, the only thing they're saying they can do is postpone it while they do another study when we already know EMFs are highly, highly detrimental to people's health. And this is just another huge blow.
Thank you. My name is Steve Gill. I'm a resident of Sedona and have been since 2006. I oppose the installation of smart meters. My feeling is that this decision was made through international corporations and our government, and it's been imposed upon each one of us as United States citizens without our say-so, without our consent, without our even being in a position of participating in a final decision. The way it looks now from sitting in that city council meeting is that this is a fait accompli. It's already a done deal. That's my fear, that it's already carved in stone. The issue is, people that want to opt out, it's clear that APS has made it difficult for people to try to opt out. They've delayed maybe days, months, almost a year in terms of honoring their request, which is supposed to be by law. This whole business is a violation of our personal privacy. The smart meter has the capacity to access our personal information, and we can get, it's a violation of our privacy.
Fourth Amendment rights.
And that's what I'm getting at. The idea that the Fourth Amendment doesn't exist. Why is this a fait accompli? Why do they have the upper hand? And the people, look at the turnout today. People, we don't seem to have any voice, and I'm afraid this is going nowhere. I don't want to be negative, but I don't like what I see.
Thank you. My name's Jane Hawthorne. Forgive me, I can't remember if it was, I believe it was Chief Seattle, may have been Chief Seneca. How can you own the air? We've nearly destroyed the Pachamama's lifeblood, her waters. Look at the air today with the chemtrails. Her heartbeat slowing down, electrogravity
is slowing down, her heartbeat speeding up. We have to take care of our earth, and now our very air is being affected. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Thank you.
My name is Kathy Huff-Stetler. I live in the village of Oak Creek and a part of Sedona. And I'm totally opposed to smart meters, primarily because of the health risk that it poses to families, especially to small children who are very vulnerable. They're exposed to radiation from Wi-Fi, from all different kinds of things, from cell towers, and I think it's going to be very injurious to their health. I'm also concerned that APS has said that smart meters will be installed in all commercial buildings because as we go about our day and start off at, say, the post office, go to the bank, have our hair done, go to lunch, go see a friend, all of these things are going to be cumulative and it's all involuntary. I think that's the biggest problem with this, is that it's all involuntary and it's all injurious to our health.
I'm a Sedona resident, 25 years, and this is total domination of the people. We have a right for our freedoms to decide what we want for our health and well-being.
My name is Gary Hendrickson, and I'm stating to the council that the discussion about how much money it might take to put in a delay in the installation of smart meters, I forgot the name of it, a formal delay at any rate of the implementation. Based on money, $100,000 was just thrown out there. We're talking about lots of lawsuits that could ensue if a lot of people are going to hospitals. It costs almost $100,000 for almost just a couple days of hospitalization. And if this starts expanding and so many people are starting to get ill with the installation of smart meters, eventually this is going to come back to litigation, to all the powers that are allowing the installation of smart meters to happen. I want to reference one document here from the American Academy of Environmental Medicine. They're referring to a report that was done where it was under double-blind studies, placebo-controlled conditions, that was incredibly incriminating against the health causes, or the causes of health issues based on smart meters and EMF radiations and RF radiations. This is just one of myriads of reports about the ill effects of smart meters that I have found on the internet. And if it takes us all barraging you with a number of these millions of these reports, then that's what we'll do. So I'm just voicing my complete objection to the installation of smart meters, and especially before any health reports come out. Thank you very much.
Actually prevent them from actually doing this to our awesome citizens here in Sedona. Well, I think the easiest way to justify that and explain that is copy and paste exactly what Santa Cruz County did to the power company in California. Whereas there is some of the information in the court documents, in the council meeting members, which all the information has been shared, and I feel that you should know, council members in Sedona, that in Santa Cruz County, they actually made it against the law to install a smart meter in someone's home, punishable as a charge of a misdemeanor. So the only way to actually stop them from mandatorily, all right, installing them in here, before they opt out and all of this jazz, which they're trying to obviously make money off of us, is to basically make it against the law in Sedona to have them install smart meters inside the city limits. So before you is a list I'm going to read off real quick of all of the California local governments which are on board that are against the mandatory wireless smart meter program. Name of cities, counties are linked, and here's some of the lists. San Anselmo, San Rafael, San Luis Obispo, Santa Cruz, it's actually illegal to install. Scotts Valley, Salisto, Seaside, Sebastopol, Solvang, Simi Valley, Thousand Oaks, Watsonville, Willits. It's over 3,872,000 citizens are against this in California. Okay? I don't know what they're telling you here in Arizona. Okay? Mount Shasta bounced them out. Okay? Let's keep going. Lakeport, Marina, Mill Valley, Monterey, Montserrat, Morro Bay, Mount Shasta. Okay, Nevada, Ojai, Pacific Grove, Palo Alto, Piedmont, Richmond, Rio Del Ross. Okay? Well, there's so much information. What I'm trying to get to, okay, Humboldt County, Lake County, Marin County, Mendocino County, illegal to install inside city limits. Okay, county limits, I should say. Those aren't cities, those are counties. Okay, City and County of San Francisco, San Luis Obispo County, Santa Barbara County, Santa Cruz, obviously, Sonoma County, Tehama County, Ventura County, and then 45 cities and towns. This information you can find at stopsmartmeters.org, and they actually even have the minutes from the meeting. So I thought to myself, what would be the easiest way to educate ourselves here in Sedona and our amazing council members, which you are, on some of the things that these other cities and towns and counties did to actually prevent the installation of the smart meters. And I think there's very, very good information there that in a way to facilitate that found there. So again, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Mario Cruz. I live here. I've lived here since '86. I've seen this city change in many ways. I think that the smart meter is not a good idea. I worked at AT&T for 14 years. I have seen people that have lived there or have worked there for 20 years, 25 years, and they come down with leukemia, other cancers. I know firsthand about the electricity issue, if you want to call it that. Teddy Roosevelt, I think, once proposed changes in our way of living, and yet the things that the scientists came up with, he literally said, well, let's put them on government buildings first, okay, before we put them on anyone else's, on the houses or whatever, and all of a sudden they went south, okay, because nobody working for government wanted to have these things put on them first, to be the first rats, if you will. So I think that's what should be done, is have them put on all government buildings in the state, and then hold off for a year, and let's see what happens, okay? Because I know you don't want to get government people too irate, okay? Because they have unions and stuff, I think now, so. Yeah, that's my point of view on it. So.
Okay. I would like to just suggest one thing, which is that it's totally counterintuitive and possibly incriminating of APS to move ahead before getting the medical report, because APS should be put on notice that any medical damage, any health damage to anybody will be their responsibility if they move ahead before getting not only that health report, but an independent health report secured by the people, independent of APS. And that APS should be put on notice that they will be subject to manslaughter for anybody who dies, and responsible for all the medical fees. The city should make APS responsible for all medical fees that can clearly be associated with health damage by the meters. It is totally counterintuitive. The city attorney should immediately get on their case and forbid them to move ahead until the health report is done. It is the stupidest thing in the world for them to proceed before getting the health report and then to find out that, yeah, of course it kills people, you know. And so the city attorney should just, you know, get on their case and legally forbid them and put them on notice that they will be legally liable for all damages to the people, all the expenses of the city included, if they proceed before the health report. And that the health report must also be combined with another health report secured by the people independently of APS, because that health report will not be trustable. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Tina Reichow, and I just
just really enjoyed this city council meeting and all the support. There's a reason why we're all banded together, and the reason is not that this isn't a health issue, and it isn't a global issue. It isn't a freedom. It's about our freedom. It's about our the rights of American citizens to make a choice, not just be having some net of some web laid over us.
Okay, my name is Aurora, and what I feel is happening to us is just that all those things get just implemented. It's just adding up. Cell phones, you know, the field gets like bigger and bigger, and there's going to be, you know, a huge amount of cancer cases and everything, you know, in the future. And how do we take care of all those people? I mean, but there's so much more. I agree with Tina too.
We either stand up
You
for
gotta
our
do that now.
freedoms and our rights now, or it's not going to be a pretty picture.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a 2-year resident of Sedona. I'm against smart meters as much as anything about control. It's not just the health issue, it is about who's going to control the power in this country. And that's my biggest issue. Health is also very important, and I am a firm believer there is a health risk in these things. But the bigger issue is it's all about who's going to control the power and the people. Thank you.
My name's Elvira Chifo, and I just moved here from Austin, Texas, fighting the smart meters there, and it did no good. They're all over. It's affected my health, and it does affect health and other issues, and it does not save you money. Just want to let you know that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Annie Chapman, and I've been in Sedona for 24 years as a resident. And something that's really important to me, I'm actually originally from Sweden, and when I came to America, it was ingrained in me, this wonderful country that was free, where you could create the American dream, where what you actually thought and felt mattered. When very special things, like when I forgot his name, but Cody, the Indian, he started talking about the fact that we couldn't throw waste everywhere, and all of a sudden the country went, oh my God, we're throwing garbage everywhere, we're going to clean it up. So here we are in Sedona, which is one of the most sacred places on the planet, with its own natural energies, and where people come from all over the world basically to do workshops on various spiritual and healing modalities. And now we're basically being put in a position where we're being forced to have these things like potentially the smart meter and other things here, and it's not right. A community like this needs to be protected, needs to be honored, and it needs to be respected for what it is and why even people around the world are coming here. Why when I work a lot internationally, and why when I talk to people and I say, I live in Sedona, Arizona, they go, oh my God, that's one of the most pristine, sacred places in the world, and we need to keep it that way. And it's also a place where people come for a healing and rejuvenation. And if we are loaded with cell towers, smart meters, and all these types of things, then we ruin the integrity of the place. So to me, it's very important that we say no to the smart meters, and that we say no to the people that think they can just simply impose these things on us, because we have the right to make those decisions. And that's why I'm here today at City Hall, voicing my opinion. Thank you.
I'm a resident of Arizona. This is a free state. The power company has no right to try to enforce these laws or force smart meters on you when you do not want them. I'll do everything in my power to stop this. We got enough things bearing down on our societies for control. We don't need the goddamn power company coming in here and trying to tell us what to do.
Thank you.